isn't that funny when people learn things and you go, oh, well, there's that now.
Right.
You know, like for a long time, guys would go and they would go and throw underhooks on, like from the half guard, and then they would try to like snake up to your body and then work their way in. But then people started darsing people.
Right.
So then that underhook became like a real liability for those long-arm darce guys.
Yep.
And then it just sort of had to change. You know, it had to. People have to evolve.
Adapt.
Yeah.
I always like that. We saw it in the early days with kickboxing, Thai boxing, Robin Deckers, you know, in the clinch, pushing somebody away, boom, high kick.
Yeah.
And it went down. And then you see everybody starts doing it, and everybody knows it doesn't work anymore. And then he pushed away with the low kick. And I go, wow, and I teach this a lot in my class too, because if I push you, your balance shifts backwards so you don't flex your leg. That low kick doesn't need to be hard, trust me, because the muscle is relaxed. It goes straight through, so a little push while you kick is a very good thing to do.
You look at the expeditious evolution of it. When we go back, I remember doing voiceover for some pancrase fights for Fight Network in Toronto, and you know, back where you watched a sport under what was MMA rules, and well, there's that, but it just didn't exist to them at the time in their the mindset or the drilling, as you say. And it's interesting when you look at now people who that's all they've trained in, guys like Cody Garbrandt, for instance, and all these kids, TJ Dillashaw, where it's I love watching the growth.
There's only a certain amount of moves that you can do, right? Like arm bars, everybody knows those, and the chokes. It's the way towards those. If you find a different way going to that certain armbar, then you surprise somebody. And that you see that happening a lot. Suddenly there's a triangle choke, new triangle choke setup. Then everybody starts doing it, and then it's gone again. But it's just about that. The move is there,
but what about
the setup
kicks?
is every time
What about
different.
certain kicks, right? Well, karate and taekwondo.
But the same thing there.
But that people thought, oh, that would never work.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, everyone's, you know, for a while, the front kick to the face. And
well, you know, you're seeing that with Wonderboy. You know, Wonderboy is a perfect example of what I thought was going to be the next stage of evolution is these sport karate guys. The guys, you know, like Michael Venom Page,
Machida,
Raymond Daniels, who went over to Glory.
Love Daniels.
And what these guys are doing is they're showing that if you have all those other skills, well, then those traditional martial arts techniques become very novel, and people don't know what to do with them. Like with Wonderboy, and he starts stabbing people with that front leg side kick and then throws that front leg round kick. People don't know what to do with him. And he's also got that crazy style of like leaning back and forth like a snake and popping back in. It's going to be very interesting, the rematch, though, because I think even though it was a draw, and I guess according to the scorecard it would be a draw, when you look at who did more damage, it's clearly Woodley. Woodley did way more damage. In 2 rounds, he had Wonderboy in some serious shit. And also, for whatever inexplicable reason, and he doesn't even know why, I asked him about it after the fight, he didn't take him down after the first round. I'm like, you know, he was like, if you ask me right now, I have no idea why I didn't. He's like, I got 20 years of wrestling. You would think I would use it. And he had so much success in the first round taking him down. But then again, he almost knocked him out in the 4th round, too. Remember, he stunned him in the 4th round.
Full on. You saw his eyes move.
It was a pretty... It was an interesting fight because Wonderboy did regain some points and regain some ground, but he never really had Woodley in any real trouble. And I think that is always the ultimate point of fighting. Is like who puts the other person in grave danger. And clearly, Woodley put Wonderboy in grave danger. He had him stunned. He had him fucked up. He was beating him up. He cut him. He had him in a guillotine. It looked like his head was going to pop off. He had him in far more danger.
Yeah, the guillotine was something else.
Oh, my God,
believe,
it was crazy. It's crazy.
Escaped.
I mean, I just wonder how he holds. I wonder how he holds his hands. You know, because there's some guys that are there's different ways to hold your hands where you can really like accentuate the bone into the neck and really. There's like little minute details in guillotines that you never know.
Right.
Ask the alpha male members. They will give you that answer
those
for
guys
sure.
are wicked ones. And of course Marcelo Garcia. You know, he's probably got one of the best guillotines I've ever seen in straight grappling competition. You know, and then Cody McKenzie had that fucking crazy guillotine where he'd push down the side, and that's what John Jones used against Chiodo.
Hey, over him during Pride Days, remember he had a slick guillotine.
Oh,
Still like Vitor Belfort, right?
Yeah.
He's in my class like a while ago. This was my old gym, and we've been working out, and I'm teaching my class. I said, hey, would you like to teach the guillotine to the guys? Yeah, sure. He said, yeah, put me in it first so I can feel how it is. but he went freaking 80%. I go, whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, that was a
So
scary
what was the key
guillotine.
then? Why was
No,
it so
because he's
scary?
got these long arms.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know, and they go around, and it's like the prayer guillotine.
Right.
You know,
He's
he gets the
super
cut throat.
jacked.
Yeah.
It's a blood choke. It becomes a blood
Yeah.
choke
Blood
as well,
choke, right.
instead
Yeah.
of just crushing the windpipe.
Yeah, he's so jacked. He's such a fucking giant dude too, with those long ass
Yeah.
arms.
You know, you should see him doing like lifting cars and all that stuff that he did in Holland, and
Yeah.
walking with like 150 kilos, you know, 75 kilos in
Yep.
each thing, and then running with it. You know,
Yeah.
like a
But
suitcase.
another guy represents redemption in the sport, and you hear now what's going on with Ronda and everything. But even Mark Hunt, like there's MMA. I spent a few years now doing boxing, where one loss ruins your career. It seems for whatever stupid reason. But in MMA, there are so many redemptions. Even Overeem has been up, down, up, down.
There's still a bad narrative in boxing, unfortunately,
Yeah.
that someone who loses a fight doesn't come back and
I
wins.
thought
You wanna be
MMA was going
undefeated.
to help that. I think for a bit it did. I mean, Bernard Hopkins had a Hall of Fame career after losing his first fight, so
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
Dan
Yeah.
Gable, we were interviewing him, and he saw these records, and like with Randy Couture record and other records, and he goes like, these are
Yeah, I
world
remember that.
champions.
These are Hall of
Because
Famers.
but we're talking to a guy who lost once in his
Right.
life, you know. So he goes, "Oh, I didn't know that." He was totally shocked by it.
Yeah,
I said,
well,
many ways
different.
to win, many ways to lose, right?
Yeah, way different world
yeah.
when people are throwing their punches and kicks,
Yeah.
and and catching you with knees when
And
you're trying to
Mirko
take them down.
Krokop was the guy who told us in Japan that if you don't lose in MMA, you really haven't fought. I
Yeah.
mean, he was trying to make the point of it's so tough and
If you fight the
different
top
and
guys,
top guys. It's
always.
going to happen, man.
Well, it's also evolving at such a radical pace.
Yep.
I mean, you're seeing all these new approaches constantly changing.
so many great
constantly
minds
evolving.
involved.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked. I mean, Firas Zahabi, and I mean, well, the list can go on and on. But that's what to me.
Jackson
That's where I
Winklejohn.
become now a bit more of a nerd, because you call so many fights and you try to have a life as well. But I'm really now getting back into let's catch up and see what these different minds are saying. Well, you yourself, sir, even listening to this, it's just always so cool to hear different perspectives and
Yeah,
what's
I
going to
agree
work?
with that too.
What's going
I
to
think
work?
that's super important for all of us.
Yeah.